Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sabrina Kent. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm our Executive Vice President of Programs and External Affairs here at the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. And I apologize, I have a grumbling puppy sitting behind me who's about to get kicked out of my office. But we're so glad to be with you here for the first program of the Sip and Pitch series for 2022, NGLCC's 20th anniversary year. We are so thankful to our partners at Southern California Edison for being here to present today's program and for their longstanding and amazing partnership to NGLCC in supporting LGBTQ businesses across the US. So before we get started, I'd love to introduce today's judges. We have a wonderful lineup of judges here with us today. Jose Chavira, Program Manager of Supplier Diversity and Development at Southern California Edison. Julia Lepe, Category Manager of Supply Management at SCE, and Sandra Shidiak, Senior Manager of Supply Management at Southern California Edison. Thank you so much to our judges for being here today. We're going to have an amazing group of suppliers presenting for you. And I want to ask everyone that is participating, please be active, use the chat today. We love to hear your feedback and comments. It is really helpful for the businesses that are pitching, and it helps us all stay connected. Please also take this opportunity to find your name on Zoom and add your pronouns next to your name, as I've done here next to mine. That helps us create the most welcoming and inclusive environment here in Sip and Pitch, as we do at all of our NGLCC programs. If you're not sure how to add your pronouns next to your name, you find your image, select the ... and the rename feature to add your pronouns, or you can go to the participants list, find your name, select more, and hit rename to add those pronouns in. So with that, I'm going to get started and give an overview of the rules and guidelines for Sip and Pitch Fridays. Each company will have 5 minutes to pitch. There will be only one presenter from each participating company. Judges will have 10 minutes to provide feedback and Q&A for our presenters. Our philosophy here is no presentation, no problem. This program, we're here in the spirit of feedback and collaboration. It's designed to be informal. So we want to support our companies and help them grow and scale through the Sip and Pitch Fridays program. If you're not speaking, again, please mute your microphone. That allows us to ensure we're hearing everything that everyone has to say. Lauren Schweppe from Team NGLCC is here as our timer. Lauren, can you say hi to the group?
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Lauren. Lauren's going to provide verbal warnings at both 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, so our presenters know when they're running out of time on their pitches. This is a judgment-free zone, and most importantly, we're here to have fun. So with that, I will turn it over to our first presenter of the day, Dr. Sarah Skidmore with Skidmore Consulting. Take it away.
All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. I am Dr. Sarah Skidmore. I am the owner and CEO of Skidmore Consulting, and we move organizations from leadership pain to strength. And I'm going to share with you how we work with our clients to do that. A bit more context about Skidmore Consulting. We are based in Central Florida, and we serve clients globally. And that's a really exciting update we've had in the past 2 years due to all the virtual offerings that we have. We work with clients through our proven process, I'll share a bit more about, and we leverage our leadership doctors. So I'm one of our leadership doctors. We have some others on the team as well that work directly with our clients. So the vision for what we do here is that we believe the world will benefit, right, from stronger leadership, that the world needs stronger leaders. And we do that through team training, we do that through one-on-one training and organization-wide training as well. So commonly, we partner with a variety of different roles, right? Depending on the size of the organization. So we work with small businesses and mid-sized enterprises, as well as corporate and Fortune 500 clients. So again, depending on the size of the organization, we may be working with a board or executives. We could be working with an industry group, with an HR department, a head of department, and even supplier diversity professionals. So we gauge who we work with based on the organization it is. And I'm happy to share that we currently work with leaders and teams throughout the world. So we actively are working with folks in Canada, Mexico, Germany, the Philippines, Australia. You'll see it here. So we seek to continue living into this vision of a world with stronger leadership. We've had quite a bit of growth over the past couple of years with the pandemic in mind. And so in 2019, when I first got our LLC, a lot of the services we provided were in-person trainings and workshops. That was what our business structure was shaped around. And then with the pandemic in mind, we altered our business model to really meet the needs of our clients. We were working with clients that had remote-only teams or hybrid teams, and that allowed us to evolve our service lines in a way that can meet the needs and the leadership challenges and leadership training needs of organizations, still providing them with those quality services. In 2021, I'm happy to share as well that that's when we started working with corporate and Fortune 500 clients. We launched our new service line, the Leadership Hospital, which I'll tell a bit more about. And this year, we've already launched a new service called our on-call service for leaders. So our proven process, this shapes our interactions with our clients. It starts with first having a specialized consultation with a leadership doctor. And that's really when we go to understand what are those leadership pains, those management challenges that your organization, your team may be facing. And we really aim to uncover what's going on there and what are your goals? Where would you like to be with your leadership and management? That next step in this proven process is then we conduct relevant in-depth diagnostics. So depending again on what the challenge is, what the leadership pain is, we'll go ahead and provide whatever those appropriate diagnostics are related to your culture, your people, your team, and then ultimately providing you that tailored treatment and consultation through our training services. We have a network of leadership doctors and leadership practitioners, skilled and specialized in a variety of different backgrounds to meet the exact pain points that your team is having. And
One
again,
minute.
we are here to help move you from leadership pain to leadership strength with our expertise. So what does that look like, right? So sometimes that means we are delivering consulting services to organizations. Sometimes that means we're delivering training programs, and we have a number of proprietary training programs you can access on our website or reach out to me for more information on specifically. But ultimately, what makes us different is our vision and our
30
focus
seconds.
for a world with stronger people leadership, our proven process, and our leadership doctors that are here to help ensure your team thrives in the future of work. Thanks.
Awesome job, Dr. Sarah. Thank you so much. That was a great presentation. Thanks for kicking off the day for us. No easy feat to be the first, but you did an awesome job. So Jose, let's start with you. Any feedback here for Dr. Sarah?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? All right.
Yes.
So Dr. Sarah, great job. I love the energy. I can tell that you're passionate about what you do there. Some of the feedback there that I would have would be to maintain that energy. It was great. I would also add the second to last slide that you showed. I think that really got to the core of the message of the company. I would probably move that slide closer to the beginning of the deck, just to really explain what does leadership look like from a concrete perspective. I think that's the main feedback that I have there, but I love the overall presentation. I think my biggest question was it's something that's it's out of the norm, right? But it's something that's required here with leadership. But what does that look like? Something we may not be familiar with. So I think maybe leading off with that second to last slide that you showed, get into the concrete details. I think that would the deck would benefit from that movement there.
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate that.
Thanks so much, Jose. Julia?
Sorry, just getting situated here. So I agree with a lot of what Jose said. I thought it was a great presentation. I think you spoke clearly at an appropriate speed. I know sometimes if we tend to get nervous, maybe we'll talk a little bit faster. But I think you did a really great job of conveying it. I was kind of waiting, like, I hope she gets to the house. So, and you did. So I agree, like I said, with a lot of what Jose shared. Maybe just hearing a little bit more about how you've been able to quantify any success stories or any opportunities that you've had with other clients, and maybe the feedback that they've shared or what results you've gotten out of that, I think might help as well. But great job overall. Good job. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julia. And then finally, Sandra.
Sure. Thank you. No, so I think I echo a lot of what Julia and Jose had to say. I think for me, I think you did a great job. I really like the energy. As I saw, the deck, the first slide and everything, where you had Skidmore Consulting, then you had leadership pain to strength, moving, I think it was leadership pain to strength. I was kind of wondering, okay, what exactly, right? It doesn't necessarily tell me, what I'm expecting to hear here, right? And so I was anxiously waiting for you to get to, what exactly is it that you're going to be doing, right? And so maybe, I don't know, just a thought, a leadership move, maybe, can you present that slide just so that I can, I think I had are you able to?
Yeah.
Apologize. I thought I had taken.
No worries. The first slide?
Yeah, where you have your tagline. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Where you have move from leadership pain to strength, maybe leadership from pain to strength, because then it's a little bit more, tells me, okay, I know that this is about leadership. I know it's about the pains of leadership, right? And we want to get, stronger leaders, right? So it wasn't as obvious, right? And so I was waiting as you were presenting, to get to, okay, what exactly is it that your organization does? So maybe to Jose's point, moving that slide earlier so that we can see what is it, the services that you provide. I love the analogy of how you use, kind of like the hospital, the doctors, the diagnosing, what the ailment may be, providing the cure, so I think that was great. But no, overall, good job. Just, I think, again, I was waiting to hear the specifics and you did get to it, but you got to it later. So maybe moving that in the beginning would be better. So that's my feedback. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, judges, for those insights. Again, Dr. Sarah, fantastic job. Thanks again for kicking off today's program for us. And we're going to turn it over to, of course, we're going to turn it over to our second presenter of the day, Frank Scarpacci with Via Nova Consulting. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay, here we go. Let me do my sip first. Now I'm going to pitch. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to introduce you to my company. My name is Frank Scarpacci. I'm the founder and president of Via Nova. So we're a strategic planning and meeting facilitation company based in San Diego. However, we do work with companies, nonprofits, and associations around the country. Our services are focused in these three key areas: strategic planning, meeting and retreat facilitation, and sustainable business consulting. Now, all of our services have one common overarching aim, and that is really helping our clients choose a fresh new path forward. And that's really what the name Via Nova means: new path or new direction. So first up is our strategic planning facilitation services. We do offer packages specifically tailored to companies, nonprofits, and associations that are fun, engaging, and most important, very productive. And for those organizations that have limited time and resources to invest, we do offer a streamlined strategic planning package as well. Now, here are some of the problems and challenges that we solve with these services. A lack of clear future vision and a roadmap on how to get there, lack of internal focus and alignment on priorities, a disconnect on what success looks like, and of course, stagnation. Now, developing a strategic plan or updating an existing one is really a great place to start in addressing some of these challenges and problems. Now, we take the guesswork out of strategic planning. We provide full end-to-end facilitation, ensuring that the proper foundation is set for success, so our clients get the results that they're looking for, and also so the burden doesn't fall on the leader's shoulders. We have a 4-step process that we bring our clients through. We help them with preparing for the strategic planning through the assessment phase, designing their strategic plan. And of course, at the end, we make sure that they have the tools and information they need and resources they need to actually execute on their strategic plan. Now, here's some key differentiators with these packages. We do utilize state-of-the-art, easy-to-use decision-making and brainstorming as brainstorming application. We also have a library of stakeholder survey and focus group questions, so our clients don't have to start from scratch with designing their surveys. We actually design and administer the surveys and focus groups for them. We also have a great set of tools and templates that our clients use that helps them from data gathering to action planning. And another thing we just started this year is that we provide short how-to videos to the planning team to give them a little more instruction on what we're looking for from them as they participate in their organization's strategic planning. Next, we have our meeting and retreat facilitation services. And here's some examples of some of the meetings and retreats that we facilitate. Now, we provide complete design and facilitation services, both for in-person meetings, retreats and workshops, and also virtual as well. Like I said, here's some examples of some of the meetings that we facilitate. Some of the problems we solve and challenges we solve for our clients: low ROI on the meetings and retreats. Retreats and meetings require a significant investment. We make sure that they get a good return on that investment. Other challenges that we help solve with our facilitation services: poor meeting outcomes, low participant engagement, lack of alignment, lack of innovation, lack of creativity, and also stagnation. We bring them through a 3-step process. So we help with preparing and co-designing the agenda and the activities with the client. Of course, we facilitate the sessions, and then we provide a report and follow-up, recommended next steps for follow-up after their meetings and retreats.
1 minute.
Key differentiators: we use technology to enhance the overall experience, increase productivity, and also increase the quality of meeting outcomes. We also ensure that their meeting is participant-centered and eco-friendly as possible. So we pay close attention to the participants' experience. Now, and lastly, we offer sustainable business consulting services ranging from assessment through reporting, and then we also help companies with B Corp certification.
30
now,
seconds.
Here are our clients, a sample list of clients. As you can see, we work in many different sectors. And one thing I do want to say, we are a purpose-driven business. We were part of the first wave of businesses to seek B Corp certification, which means we've been certified to have met a much higher standard of social and environmental performance, transparency, and accountability. We've been certified since 2008. This benefits our corporate clients because they know that we've received that good housekeeping seal of approval as a social responsible business, which also aligns with their ESG and CSR commitments. And there you have it. There's my contact information, the QR code. If you want to use that, it'll bring you right to our website. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Frank. I'll let you keep that up for folks here so they can take screenshots, take the information down, use that handy QR code. I love it. Thank you very much. And judges, I'll turn it over to you. Julia, how about we start with you?
Well, excellent job. Once again, thank you so much for that presentation. I think, well, first of all, I appreciate you starting with officially sipping before pitching. So that was great. Always good. Yeah, always good to start off with a laugh. I think you did a great job of explaining what it is you do and how it is you do it. I just think it's a lot of information to digest, and I understand you had 5 minutes to cover it, so it was kind of a lot. I'm still processing one when we're moving on to the next information. So I know it's a tough balance to say with a limited amount of time how to hit those key points and make the information more concise, so we kind of have a little bit less information to digest, but still kind of get the gist of it. So that would be my only suggestion, if maybe it could just bring it down a little bit to where it's a little bit more concise, and that way there's some more time to process the information is all. But I thought it was really great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julia. There we go. That mute button is always escaping me, or unmute in this case. Thank you for that. Sandra, let's turn it over to you. Any thoughts here for Frank?
Sure. Yeah, no, Frank, great job. Yes, like Julia said, a lot of information, but just quickly, you know, and love the flow of it, and you know, how you explained the different areas. Is there a way, I know you do strategic planning, I know sustainability, is there a specific niche in a business organization that you help with that maybe can help, you know, kind of concise it and more direct, as opposed to, because it seems just like it's a generalized area. Is that the focus of the company, just generalized across an organization? Are there specific areas, and maybe that would help?
Yeah, I work with organizations primarily at the organization level.
Okay.
So if an organization wants to do strategic planning, it is for the whole company or for the nonprofit or association. Now, meeting facilitation, I work with various departments and also in the company level as well. So yeah, so that with meeting facilitation, you could have a department that wants to do an offsite for their leaders or for their staff. Or if there's an part of the organization where they really want to do some really good ideation and brainstorming. So that's one of our favorite actually projects that we do, is we help businesses, especially larger businesses, that are really trying to tap into the creativity of their employees. We provide the support, resources, process, tools to really get great ideas surfaced, vetted in a way that is very efficient, it's fun, it's engaging. We do integrate some little bit of gamification as well. So
yeah,
so
maybe a scenario, right? Walking through, you know, a scenario, an example of where you've been successful. You know, I think that would help.
Yeah.
No, but great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jose. I'll turn it to you to close it out for Frank.
All right, thank you. And Frank, I would say visually, I really did appreciate the deck there. I think the color scheme that you used, that palette, really played into like the overall theme of the business. So I do appreciate that. I'd agree with Julia just as far as how much information we're taking in at once. So, and we can kind of tell that it was a bit rushed at the end there, right? But I think you did a great job of covering all the material. That was great. I think just the way you're able to speak to it, we can just tell that you are very familiar with this. If someone has, specific details, you can get into it. But definitely, I think you did a great job just presenting the overall theme there and some of the benefits. If there's any way that you'd be able to quantify any of the information, just with different groups that you've supported, and kind of tying into Sandra's question there. I know for us, we're coming from the utility world. If there are any other utilities that you might have worked with, so maybe you can, going forward, depending on the audience, you might be able to kind of cater it, to that specific industry. But overall, it was a great job, just presenting, your the cadence there, speaking, and just the visual component. Everything just came out really sharp there.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Judges, thank you so much for that great feedback. That's really helpful. I also want to say that I got a direct message in the chat as well. That's a question for you, Frank. This individual would be interested to know more about you starting your company. Is it a passion? What led you to start your venture?
Yeah, I started Villanova in 2005. The majority of my career was in the travel industry with American Express, primarily American Express Travel. And, but I wanted to create a business that helped leaders, purpose-driven leaders primarily, and their organizations kind of do well by doing good. And when I started the company, when I used to tell people what I did or wanted to do, they used to pat me on the head and say, oh, good luck with that, Frank, that's cute. But I knew that that social and environmental responsibility was going to be an essential strategy for businesses, whether for-profit or nonprofit. So I kind of built my business around that. So I'm very passionate about really helping organizations really magnify the good they do. So whether it's, building stronger, more engaged teams, creating better services or products for their customers or their donors or whoever I'm working with. So that's kind of really where it started. I have a background in, leading strategic projects for American Express for many years and so on and so forth. So I also did some event stuff. So I kind of mixed all that in, and that's kind of how it flows into my business today. So, but it's been 15 years. Oh no, it's 15 years as of 2020. Of course, didn't get a chance to celebrate. So I've been, I think, close to 17 years we've been in business. So very excited about that. And the B Corp certification is the other thing that I think that's one way to kind of help, me stand out a little bit, my business stand out a little bit. It really is showing those that I work with and those that are interested in working with me that my values are really important, that I do really look at using my business as a vehicle to do good for my clients. So the B Corp certification is that good housekeeping seal of approval that I'm very proud of. So, and I've been very involved. It's one of the first businesses to get certified. There are like over 4,500 around the world now. It's kind of cool. So
that's awesome, Frank. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey. And I didn't know that this started back at American Airlines, which is also, an amazing corporate partner of NGLCC
American
as
Express.
well.
No, American Express.
Oh, American Express. Well, American Express is also a founding corporate partner, I believe, as well. So really glad to hear that. And thank you so much for pitching. You did a fantastic job. And I'll just echo too, I really love the look of your deck. And for me, the steps 1, 2, 3, 4 is really helpful because I'm visual and I like to see process. So it was really helpful for me to see in the presentation. So thank you so much.
Well, I really, really appreciate this opportunity today. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, we'll turn it over to our final presenter of round 1, carbon reform. Take it away.
Thanks, Sabrina. 1 second. Oh, I don't want to share. Slideshow. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Nick Martin. I'm the co-founder and COO of Carbon Reform. We are working on a modular carbon capture technology from indoor air. We are a B2B business and our customers are building owner operators. So the problem that we're focusing on is twofold. It's the current heating and cooling costs of commercial buildings, which are about 40% of their energy spend. The second is the state of the art for direct air capture facilities. And you might have seen these in Iceland and Europe. And while they are one step in the right direction, they only remove the footprint of about 150 Americans and require a lot of energy, almost 1,000 homes. So we have an overlapping solution here. It's a retrofit device to capture CO2 and other indoor air pollutants from indoor air. We divert part of the return air of a building. It goes through our device where it is adsorbed and converted to a calcium carbonate byproduct, which we're able to sell off to concrete manufacturers and other industries. And then the clean air goes back into the building. So not only is this a climate solution because it permanently sequesters carbon dioxide, but we also have an indoor air quality and health component because CO2 and other indoor air pollutants affect brain cognition. And then thirdly, from an energy standpoint, which is really interesting for building owners, if you're able to clean more of the return air, you don't have to bring in and condition as much outside air. So your overall energy spend on that is less. Our revenue model is in the form of a lease. So that way we can understand the entire life cycle of our device. We have a one-time $15,000 retrofit fee per device. That includes the installation, and then an ongoing maintenance, an annual maintenance of $5,000, which includes the maintenance and the collection of our calcium carbonate byproduct. We also have an IoT component to this, which allows building owners and us to understand the device performance, the energy savings, how much CO2 it's directly capturing. We did a case study on a 100,000 square foot building in Philly that would require about 5 of our devices, would include about 25K in annual recurring revenue to us. And in terms of CO2 capture and avoidance, would include about 250 tons annually. What's interesting to the building owner themselves, in this case, is they benefit from about $30,000 in annual energy savings. So our market, like I said, is commercial building owners and operators. We're dealing with about a $450 billion global commercial real estate market that could benefit from this. We span across industries, office, manufacturing, education, and health. We operate on a market cluster approach in that our manufacturing customers and such are all within geographic proximity, so we can limit the lifetime CO2 emissions of our logistics process. For the average customer, you can expect 30 cents per square foot of energy savings. You can also, we're passing off the carbon credits to our customers, which we value right now at about $100 a ton. And you can be on the path for your building to qualify for WELL certification. So in terms of traction right now, we have a joint development agreement with a Fortune 500 HVAC manufacturer that'll allow us to see how we can integrate into one of their existing products. We also have investment and project support coming from Exelon. And then thirdly, we have a purchase order agreement for 100 of our units from this WSG streaming company. But in terms of this year, we have 2 pilots for one Baltimore Air Coil, an HVAC company in Baltimore, Maryland, and Thomas Edison Charter School, which is a Title I school in Wilmington, Delaware. I won't go too much into detail here, but this is to show where we stand with other competing indoor air quality and carbon capture technologies. The big differentiator is that we can capture and convert into one device. We permanently sequester CO2, so we're not putting it into enhanced oil recovery or into other biofuels to ultimately be combusted and re-released downstream. And we are a modular.
1 minute.
So our team is composed of myself and the co-founders are myself and Joe Norris. The team itself has a background spanning from climate science, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, and other startup and scale-up experiences. We also have advisors from the HVAC industry, chemical industry, polymers, and so on.
30 seconds.
I won't go into the fundraising. But if there's any questions about our fundraising and our financials, I'm happy to go into that in Q&A. Thank you for the time.
Wow, Nick, fantastic job, and what an innovative solution. I'm really excited to hear what our judges have to say, given their industry, the energy industry. So let's start. Sandra, any feedback here?
No, great job, Nick. I think it's concise to the point, provided enough detail and information. Question for you. You said commercial buildings, but one of the comments that you made is you're also on school sites. So is it beyond just commercial? Now you're looking at school sites as well?
Yep. So I think we use commercial as a broad term. I'd say we're non-residential is maybe a better way to look at it. So we're looking at mixed use buildings, office buildings, and schools.
No, perfect. No, great. No, great job. I think you nailed it. So this is the pitch that you use when you go to, is it obviously to the commercial clients, right? But you said that there is fundraising. So what does that entail? Is that for more research and development, or?
Yeah, we're only 2 years old right now. I'll put it up here, but we're entering into a pre-seed raise because we need to scale up our team, move into a bigger lab space. And once we get those first 2 pilots out, the 1 million is going to help get us to a commercialization stage. Like I said, we have that pre-order for 100 units, and we can't do that with our current team capacity or space. So we need more funding.
Do you know what the spend is in this field, in this area?
I'm sorry, the what?
The spend, the market. How big? Do you know?
The carbon capture market is so nascent that there's very little, I would say, industry data on what it is and what the CAGR and whatnot is. I would say that the big direct air capture companies are Climeworks, Carbon Engineering, and Global Thermostat. There's very few companies like us that are working on this modular solution. The oldest ones are 5 years old, so we're still a pretty new industry.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no, great job. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. You taught me something.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Jose, feedback here?
Hello. That was a great presentation. It felt like a bit like an episode of Shark Tank there, right? Everything was covered. You covered all the bases, just very prepared. So definitely appreciate that. Sandra, great questions there. I love the visuals. Like you said, everything that I might have had questions about, you addressed, right? What's the problem? Where are we, right? What's the current state? What's the future state? What are we looking to do about it? What's the information from the industries who you're partnering with? I really love that information, that you did list a lot of the partnerships that you have in motion right now and where you're looking to move forward. I think the only feedback that I would have would maybe be focused more on the problem statement. And part of that too is at that point, you're kind of focusing on the, I guess that emotional appeal, right? I think on paper, black and white, everything, all the data, you have that information, you can definitely speak to it. Maybe focusing on why this is important, right? This is great. And we understand everything related to it with the dynamics there with, with the climate and changes in the environment there. But I think being able to speak to that problem statement, say, hey, we know it's an issue. Even just saying that this is an issue is a bit of an understatement, right? Kind of highlight that. And at that point, you can really start speaking to that solution. And I think that might help a little bit there. But no, it was a great presentation.
Great, thank you. I should say, we are looking at other clusters. So maybe we should talk with SCE after this, because Exelon's on board. I think you guys would be a good partner too.
I think so.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Jose. And Nick, there's a question here in the chat. It says, well done. Is your product ESG certified?
So we are still, like I said, in the pilot and the MVP stage. So all those certifications, including the ones for just HVAC products to make sure that they're not going to mess up the building itself, that's all stuff we're going to be looking at in the next, I'd say, 12 to 18 months.
Thank you so much. And Julia, we'll turn it to you for final feedback here for Nick.
All right. Great job, Nick. Thank you for that presentation. I agree. I really enjoyed how you right off the bat identified the problem and then said, here's how we solve for it. I would just say, just be mindful of who your audience is and that not everyone's going to be as maybe tech savvy or in the know regarding, how the technology works. So just tailor it to your audience. If it's a group of folks that maybe aren't that well versed in it, maybe you can go into a little bit more information to help people understand. And then just here and there, be mindful. I know there's a lot of acronyms that we all just widely know, but then there's some that we don't. So just be mindful of that. If you include any in your presentation that might not be just obvious to all of the viewers of your presentation, just make sure you take care to cover that. But that was really it. Everything was really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Great feedback. And thank you to our judges. Nick, thank you so much. Fantastic job here closing out round one for us, and really appreciate you being here at Sip and Pitch Fridays. Judges, I want to chat with you as we close out round one here and get your closing thoughts on the first round. What insights do you have for anyone on the line, things that stood out to you as we move into round two? Jose, we can start with you.
Okay. Just any feedback there. I say I was on the other side of the table there, right? And I was looking at some of the feedback here. I think I would probably start by looking at the other presentations. Of course, they cover, so many bases here, so many different styles, and kind of picking and choosing to see what would kind of fit, right? I think that's where I would start off with if I was doing the sip and pitch here, because there's so many opportunities, as well as, and you see how folks are successful in other areas, see what you can carry over. I think that's really where I would start there, because everyone's done just a great job of conveying these different messages, right? Different forms of communication here, different in terms of conveying these thoughts, right, in this PowerPoint presentation format. So I think that's where we would start.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jose. Appreciate that. Sandra, any thoughts here as we close out round one?
Sure, no, just I think 3 of them were great presentations. I think for me, it's just, know your audience and make sure that you tailor your presentation to that audience. You may have like your basic template, right? And just add and remove and just tailor to the group that you'll be presenting to. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really helpful, Sandra. Know your audience, know who you're presenting and pitching to. It's always important. That'll help you tailor your pitch along the way. Thank you for that. And Julia, lastly, any final thoughts on your end as we move into the next round?
Just want to echo what Jose and Sandra said. I completely agree with them. I know for us or for myself, when I get presentations from suppliers, our ears always perk up when they say, oh, I have this utility experience with PG&E or SDG&E. So it's always helpful, like Sandra was getting to, tailoring to your audience and knowing kind of those buzzwords, like understand the company or the audience that you're going to be presenting to. And then that way you can tailor just the level of the information, and then also kind of know those buzzwords that are going to get the attention of those that are viewing your presentation. That's all. Everything was really great. Thank you.
Fantastic feedback. Thank you so much. Well, folks, that concludes round one. We will be back in 15 minutes for round two. So go answer an email, stretch, fill up your water or whatever you're sipping on. This is Sip and Pitch Fridays after all. We'll see you back here in 15 minutes for round two. Thanks. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Sip and Pitch Fridays. To those that have just joined, we had an amazing first round, and we're excited to be here with you for round two. I want to say a big thank you to our friends and partners at Southern California Edison for presenting today's program and serving on our judging panel. I am Sabrina Kent. I use she, her pronouns. I'm our Executive Vice President of Programs and External Affairs here at the NGLCC. And again, we're so excited to be kicking off our 20th anniversary year here with you all at Sip and Pitch Fridays, our first program of the year. I'm going to reintroduce our judges for today's program. Jose Chavira, Program Manager of Supplier Diversity and Development at SCE. Julia Lepe, Category Manager of Supply Management at SCE. And Sandra Shidiak, Senior Manager of Supply Management at SCE. Thank you all so much for being here. Y'all provided amazing insights in round one, so I'm excited to hear what you have in store for round two. Participants, if you're on the line, please be sure that you're muting yourself during the program. That allows us to ensure that we're able to hear everything that folks have to say and share during the program. Don't forget to be interactive in the chat, share your feedback, your comments, your ideas. Exchange info with the presenters. We love to make this program as interactive as possible. And also, please don't forget to rename yourself here on Zoom to include your pronouns next to your name, as I've done here with mine. You can do that by going to the participant list, finding your name, selecting more, and then the rename feature and adding your pronouns in. You can also access the rename feature by hovering over your image or your little box here on Zoom. And hitting the ... in the top corner and selecting rename from there. That helps us create an inclusive and welcoming environment here at Sip and Pitch, as we like to do at all NGLCC programs. So with that, we are going to turn it over to, oh, I forgot, we've got rules and guidelines for Sip and Pitch too. Each company has 5 minutes to pitch. There will be one presenter from each company, and judges will have 10 minutes for feedback and Q&A. No presentation, no problem. This is an informal program designed to deliver feedback, and we're all here in the spirit of collaboration. Please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. And Lauren from our team is keeping time for all of us. She provides verbal warnings at both 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. This is a judgment-free zone, and we are here to have fun. So now for real, we get to the real fun. I'm going to turn it over to Garcia Research to kick us off. Take it away, Carlos.
Hi, guys. Let me get my continue. Get my screen up here. Okay. Okay. So thank you for the invitation. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm president and owner of Garcia Research, which is a Hispanic and multicultural research consulting and related services company. It's a big mouthful, I know. I remind you, have to have a drip. It's absolutely water. It is, absolutely. So here's a little bit about me. I have been in the real field of Hispanic marketing research since 1980. And after working for other people for 10 years, I founded my own company in 1990, Garcia Research. And in 2011, you know, the Great Recession really whacked us. So I basically had to sell the US assets and became an SVP for multicultural research with Knowledge Networks, which founded the Knowledge Panel. And then I worked with then Knowledge Networks was acquired by GfK. I worked for GfK for 5 years, and then I relaunched an independent Garcia Research again. I was born in East LA, but I was a cum laude graduate in foreign languages from Pomona College in Claremont. Received a Ford Foundation Fellowship for a master's degree. I got my MBA. I studied in Paris. I was a very lucky guy, very, very lucky guy. So both my parents were born in Mexico, born and raised in East LA, fluent in Spanish and French. But I've been very active in giving back to my community. Board chair emeritus of Valley Community Healthcare in the San Fernando Valley, president of the Pomona College Alumni Association. I've received awards from my industry for the meritorious service for the Marketing Research Association, which is now the Insights Association. I've won an award from Latin Business Association and from the Ogilvy Award from the ARF, which is the Advertising Research Foundation. I now reside in Palm Desert. I'm still an Edison customer with the solar panel and two batteries in our garage. And I serve on the board of the Artists Council, the Palm Desert City Finance Committee, and the Idea Council of the Insights Association, which is for inclusion, diversity, equity, and access. So my area of experience is really pretty amazing because I've not specialized in any particular industry or any particular type of research, done both qual and quant in virtually everything having to do with multicultural consumers, mostly Hispanic, but also others, including LGBT. 40 years of experience, qualitative and quantitative, huge amount of different types of work that I've done, early stage exploration through mature market tracking, in a huge number of product categories. So I've really seen virtually every aspect of people's lives. So I focus on qualitative foundational research, including exploratory ANUs and activation and socialization workshops, because having the data isn't enough, you need to be able to activate it. Go on to some of the key things we do. Hispanic multicultural research, special research projects. We have a call center in Tijuana, Mexico, which is for ongoing projects only. We don't do one-off projects, it's inefficient. A lot of back office services for multicultural research, and research people would really focus on that, but non-researchers wouldn't really entirely understand what I'm talking about here, but it's basically, you know, how to do a survey right for the right audience. And we have a recruitment video here, and it's for our recruiting our interviewers in our Tijuana office. I have about 150 people working there, and we have a really great atmosphere. And this is in Spanish, and I left it in Spanish because I want you to experience what it's like perhaps to see communications in a language you don't entirely understand.
Actualmente estoy estudiando la carrera de administración. Estudio por las mañanas y trabajo por las tardes aquí en García. Hay mucha flexibilidad de horario.
Soy estudiante de la Facultad de Derecho en UABC Tijuana. Son turnos flexibles, aparte de que tiene un buen salario, buena base y me da la oportunidad de estudiar.
Si eres un estudiante que dejó de estudiar o igual estás estudiando, pues te invito a que te unas, porque aquí puedes tener una buena oportunidad para poder trabajar.
1 minute.
Este trabajo realmente me dio la oportunidad de concluir con mis horarios escolares y también pues con los ingresos para poder pagar mi título universitario. Yo invito a los jóvenes a que vengan a trabajar, que conozcan este equipo de trabajo para que también tengan la oportunidad de continuar con sus estudios.
So thank you. That's basically it. I would be very interested in working with medium to large companies and helping them with their consulting to understand the research that they do, to make sure it isn't condescending or inappropriate. It's very easy to make cultural missteps. So it's really helpful, I would hope, that to have someone like myself be able to contribute and work with even your standard research suppliers to help them fine-tune their product so that you do a better job communicating and to your Hispanic consumers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic job. I will turn it over to Jose to kick us off.
All right. Great presentation. I would say just at first glance, one thing that really stood out was just the technical capability, right? As far as speaking to your expertise, what you bring to the table, the qualifications, I think that was great. I think as soon as that comes up, the question is, what really stands out is you want more, right? And at that point, I think one thing that might have been missing a little bit there was really speaking more so to the research and maybe some of the findings, some of the success stories that you can really add to that deck there. I do speak Spanish, and so that video was helpful for me in that respect. It was great to see and get that feedback. And one thing that really stood out was when you mentioned just 150 employees there in Tijuana just alone. So now I'm thinking about the size, the scope of the company, what you've already done, and what you can do going forward, right? Just with the amount of resources that you have. So if you could speak to that going forward, I think that'd be great. But I think it was a great presentation. And in a positive way, like it left us wanting more, right? Now the curiosity has been stoked there. So what can we do going forward? And it just, again, I do have a few questions on that front that might be able to be addressed in the deck, but it was really informative. So really appreciate that. Okay,
thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Awesome, thank you.
I'd be happy to share any more information you might have for me. If you make questions, I'll be able to answer them later. I'll put my
and you
email
can feel free to share them now too. That either works. Awesome.
Oh, I have so many war stories. I could go on forever, really forever. Seriously, I have so many funny stories of people doing everything right except everything, and get everything wrong. It's pretty amazing how badly research can get done. People tend to research themselves, and marketers tend to market to themselves, and they're not aware of the other consumers, other people, and other lives. So I try to make people aware of that, and I fight for the consumer, by the way, because the consumer is the client's client. So if I do a good job with reaching and understanding the consumer, I'm doing my clients a favor.
Right, and I think kind of speaking to some of those missteps that are taken in the research world, I think that'd be helpful there on that front.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Great feedback. Thank you, Jose. Julia, any feedback here for Carlos?
Yes, great job, Carlos. I really enjoyed your presentation and your method of presenting. I would just say, in sitting through supplier presentations, I think we kind of selfishly want to know right off the bat, what are you going to do for me, right? What can you do for me? What can you do to help me? So it was awesome to hear all the great experience that you have and where you came from, and how even from just growing up in East LA and your parents being from Mexico, all of that I know feeds into how you're able to do such an amazing job in this particular category of work. But I think in pitching to a company, I would just advise you to put some focus around, here are some benefits to what I can bring to the table to you. And you want to have those at the forefront so that you can hook people. And all the information you shared was really important and really great, but I think it needs to also include in some of what Jose was saying in terms of what you've done. You talked a lot about how you've done quantitative and qualitative analysis. We want to see some of those numbers there and see any success stories that you've had, or that kind of information I think would be really helpful as well. Great job overall. Thank you.
You know, I actually didn't even mention that I've been teaching marketing research, including quantitative and qualitative, at Cal Poly Pomona.
Oh, there you go. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Right across the freeway from Claremont. You had a completely different world.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Julia, for that feedback. Sandra, we'll turn it to you.
Sure, thank you, Sabrina. Yeah, Carlos, love the presentation. You know, and me being a Mexican immigrant, I love to hear success stories, right? And so this is very personal. You know, it touches me very personal. I think you did a great job. I think, having the biography, the information about you and how, you got there in this company. A lot of information. I think at first glance, it could be a little bit overwhelming, maybe bulletizing and putting those highlights, I think that would work. The video, I enjoyed the video. It was a little bit hard for me to hear. I don't know if it was my laptop, but I did put it to the highest, and I still had a little bit of a challenge hearing it. But I think for those that may not know the language, of having English subtitles, I don't know, that may be something to consider.
Yep. Works actually.
Yeah, would like to hear more about, maybe some of the projects that you've worked on, some of the, provide some of those examples, but overall, I think you did a great job, and thank you.
Thank you. Well, actually, one of the best experiences I've had is working on a project for the LADWP, Department of Water and Power. And they had a whole communications effort, and I helped them develop a brochure in Spanish that was so clear. It was the best piece of work I've ever seen a client put out. It was just amazing. And being a part of that was so exciting. It was really, really thrilling and satisfying to be able to convey really important information to regular users, people who have big questions. They used a lot of visuals, a lot of emotional pulls, little emotional tugs, nothing too blatant. And it was just really fun. So I love this work. I love this work because I love, helping my community and helping my clients help my community. And when I help my clients help my community, and the community helps the clients back, everybody, it's a virtuous circle.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Sandra, thank you for your feedback. Carlos, great job. You did a fantastic job. Thank you for being a part of Sip and Pitch. We're really glad to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
Of course. We are going to turn it to our second presenter of round two, Gavin Escolar with the Chaga Company. I've been excited for folks to learn about Chaga. So Gavin, take it away.
Okay, 1 second. Let me prepare myself here. Okay, how do I share my screen? One moment. Share screen. Voila. Desktop 1, share. Allow Zoom to share your screen, yes. Okay.
Gotta love the technical difficulties of the
yes,
digital
absolutely.
world we live in.
Love all of that, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a fun time.
I am ready.
We don't see your screen.
You don't see my screen, lovely. Ugh. Let's do this. Shoot.
If you go back to the share screen icon at the bottom, should hopefully prompt you to select the appropriate window.
Oh, hold on. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Zoom, where are you? Okay. Share screen. Yes, share. One participant, advanced sharing options. Okay, desktop 1. Yes. Keynote. Yes. Can you guys see it?
No, we can't. Did you, when you hit share screen on Zoom here, the green icon in the center of the screen?
It's green.
Did you click that button?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
and it says right here, basic, advanced, filter, desktop 1, keynote, unknown. I have it on my keynote thing. So
when you select keynote, then select that screen, and then in the bottom right corner, there should be a button that says share.
Oh, optimize for video clip and then share sound. Okay. So, my goodness.
And then share in the bottom right corner.
Share in the bottom right corner. It won't let me happen. Oh, well. Share, optimize for video clip, share sound, advise, files.
And then, yeah, so then over to the right of optimized video clip on the opposite side of the window, it should be a blue button that says share.
Yes, share. Okay.
Select that.
Okay. And then keynote unknown.
It's not working?
Let's see here. Share to. Allow. open systems preferences, security, privacy to grant access. Okay. Oh,
yes. So then
I
you
see
have
what-
to allow screen recording. Yeah, Macs are making it super fun.
oh my goodness, lovely.
In the meantime, while you're figuring that out, I've gotten a few questions from folks in the chat. When can I pitch? And the answer is go to nglcc.org/sip-and-pitch, and you can submit your application to pitch. If you have already submitted an application, don't worry. We've got lots of applications in the queue. We will get to you to invite you to pitch at an upcoming program, but we will also have some time here in community and conversation later for some speed pitching and networking. So don't forget to stick around for that. Gavin, how's it going over there? Oh, okay. I think we lost Gavin. So Blair, you are up. We are going to turn it over to you to present, and hopefully we'll get Gavin back in a few minutes. But we're going to turn it over to you, Blair, for Namaste Casting and Tchotchkes. Take it away.
Okay, I am, oh.
Gavin, we're going to go ahead and switch to Blair, and we'll come back to you afterwards.
Okay.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm not going to share my screen for a little bit. I'm just going to chat. So hi, my name's Blair. It's really nice to meet you. You don't know me. I was just admiring your artwork and I wanted to come over and introduce myself. I just opened this new business in Atlanta. It's called Namaste Tchotchkes, right? It's like a mouthful. And we're actually like part art gallery. So that's why I wanted to say hi, because like I said, I really love your work. There's like a wide variety here and I'd love to collaborate with you. I know art gallery maybe sounds a little like stuffy, or maybe some old school might not be like your vibe. But if you don't mind, I'd love to bend your ear for a second and just sort of explain how we're not a traditional art gallery, and it might be more what you're interested in. Because when I say collaborate, I truly mean collaborate. A really big part of why I opened Namaste Tchotchkes is because I don't want to take like predatory commission rates that I found I was coming up against myself as an artist. So like the whole inspiration for the business is, you know, I have a career in casting for film and television, and I needed an office. So I rented an office space for that. And so that provides me revenue so that I can cover these like overhead expenses. So then when I'm doing an art gallery space in the back, I don't have to rely on commissions from you to sort of make my baseline overhead. I can work with you. I can negotiate a lot better rates. But I'm getting sort of ahead of myself. Why I am going to share my screen with you now, because I kind of think the best way to talk about Namaste Tchotchkes is show you my website. Also, I've been working really hard on it, so I'm kind of just want to share it with you if that's cool. Does everybody see that screen? So this is, are you guys seeing my screen?
We are.
Okay, sorry. So this is the space. And so you can take the time however much you want and sort of like click through when I'm gone and you know, not on your face. But if you do visit showroom and scroll down, you can see like I have all this stuff in the front. So while I'm in office, I'm also like selling tchotchkes, hence the name, out of the front lobby. And then in the back, this is the studio space. And so my landlord was so nice. He just like busted out this wall for me. It's going to be like a nice, clean, open space. It comes out to about 500 square feet. And so you would be the first artist to sort of sign on, but I am trying to get like 2 to 4 people. And I'm specifically trying to book artists to collaborate for this grand opening event. And I'm aiming for like early March. But if that date doesn't work for you, you know, I just kind of want to connect, and maybe there's a time later in the year down the road that works. Especially, I don't know how many works you have right now to sell, but maybe you want to like do a series specifically to showcase. And then if you go to our Offer Your Voice page, which is at the top, and it's also at the footnote at the bottom, you can see like I'm really upfront. I really believe in transparency, like professional transparency, because as an artist myself, I was running into a lot of these like
you know, just here's the contract, just sign here, and, or this is the fee, just take it, it is what it is. And I don't want to be like that. I want to offer sort of engagement with the artists that I bring on board and that I collaborate with, to where, you know, I'm learning too. This is my first art gallery that I opened. So if I have a percentage in there, or if I'm not offering to provide something that, you know, you're used to being provided for you, I can talk to you about that. And, you know, I would love to learn more about it, even if it's not something I can provide right now. I can definitely keep that in mind. So anyway, all my contact information is on this website. Here's my business card.
1 minute.
I'd also really love to share with you this flyer that I made for the grand opening. So on that Offer the Voice page, you can go down and see a PDF you can download of all of our other like proposals for commissions. But this is the one that's like specific to the grand opening, because it's going to be just like a one-day event. And, you know, maybe you can collaborate with us and we'll keep your pieces like
30 seconds.
But, you know, like I said, I'm open to anything. Give that a read, and I look forward to hearing from you. So, it was nice to meet you. Thanks.
They weren't supposed to open until summer? They were supposed to open last summer? Oh, they opened early?
Somebody's here. Sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you, Blair. Thank you so much for pitching with us. Sandra, I'll turn it over to you to provide the first round of feedback here for Blair.
Yeah, so thank you, Blair. You know, I'm a little slow because when you started, I was a little bit confused, you know, but then I kind of caught on and realized that you were pitching it to me as a person that you were looking for to you know, provide you with, if I was interested in selling my artwork, right? And so, you know, it took me a little while to catch up, but I did. I think, you know, the flyer that you had on before, if you can bring that up.
Yeah.
You know, I think the website is good. I think the flyer, I think in engaging an individual, it seems like you're a little bit hesitant, maybe a little bit, you know, more, I don't want to say forceful, but maybe more sure, you know, instead of asking, maybe let me tell you what I can do for you. And this is what, you know, a little bit more direct, maybe, you know, not so you know, because they want to know what is it that, you know, that you can do for us, right? So you're trying to get these artists to come in and you know, sell in your art gallery, right? And so, you know, need to sell that, right? So what can you do for them? What can you, you know, I think that's it. About the business, I think that's that when I read that tells me exactly what it is that you do. I think, you know, maybe using that, you know, as you start, you know, your conversations, or maybe as you know, a little bit of history or the purpose of your company, right? What you do, I think that would be good. So I think, yeah, a little bit of work just in putting it together and how it would flow, and a little bit more cohesion and a little bit more, you know, directness, I would say, you know, of what it is that you want to tell, you know, the person that you're addressing this to, right? So that you want to, like Julia had said, you want to hook them, right? But then you want to tell them, what is it that, you know, what can I do for you, right? Why do I need you, right? Why does Sandra need to, you know, display her art gallery in you know, her art in your gallery, right?
Yeah.
That's it. But no, great job. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandra. Jose, feedback here?
Hi, first off, great job, Blair. I do one thing that I really appreciate is, I'm not an artist myself, but I can tell that you are. So I like to think that, you know, I think artists can recognize artists, right? Especially when you're talking about the partnership and, you know, really kind of building that team that you're looking for there. And I love how you were able to balance that with speaking to like the business perspective, right? You discuss, you know, being able to cover your overhead with that intent of saying, hey, this is how I'm focusing on the passion, right? On like the spirit of this particular project. I think it was great. In that respect, I think folks, you know, say, this is the kind of person that I want to partner with, right? Mm-hmm. So I definitely got that vibe from you, really appreciate that. I'll second what Sandra mentioned there about kind of like declaring that mission statement, right? What you're looking for, and also really focusing on everything else that you bring to the table. Like you mentioned, everything that you showed on the website, though, that was all great. It was great to see. I'd appreciate something that maybe was a little bit more fluid, you know, in terms of presentation versus just kind of clicking around there. But I think what you did show was fantastic there. And also, again, I think you bring so much to the table, like focus on like highlighting that, where you mentioned like, hey, if you work with someone in a similar space here, this is where you're gonna come across as far as like an obstacle with like, again, with like commission rates, X, Y, and Z, right? All the aspects of the business. So you being able to speak to, hey, this is where my value comes in, apart from just the physical space. I think that's going to attract more people there, because I'm not an artist myself, but seeing that, it looked like a great opportunity, especially for folks that are just looking like, you know, to get their feet wet, you know, haven't really had that opportunity, haven't had that partnership just yet. And I think working with someone like you, they would be able to see that value and just how great a partnership could be in that space.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
That's great, Jose. Thank you so much for that feedback. Julia, last but certainly not least, feedback here.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciated just the informal kind of vibe to the presentation, because in my years of experience here, you know, everything's kind of buttoned up and straight PowerPoint and that kind of thing. So I do enjoy just having a conversation, right? Just human being to human being. It doesn't have to be super formal or anything like that. I would just say, keep that casualness to it. I think that we, like on the Edison side, you know, we're in the corporate world, so it's a different vibe, and it's different folks kind of looking for different things. So, but at the end of the day, it also matters that you're partnering with someone that you can rely on and that you can trust. So you want to show that you know your stuff, right? And I'm not saying front that you have all this experience in areas where maybe you don't have it, but like Jose was saying, highlight the things you do know and what you do bring to the table. You can be completely honest about kind of where you are in terms of the fact that you are starting out, but bring that confidence in other areas so that they know you know your stuff where it matters. So that would be my only recommendations, but I think it's really great. Just feeling your vibe, I think is already kind of endearing and kind of brings the person in. So definitely keep that. Don't lose any of that. Just maybe polish it a little bit, and I think you'll be great. So good job.
Thanks for that feedback, Julia.
Thanks.
Blair,
Thanks,
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Blair. Great job, and congrats on the opening. I hope everything goes amazing, and really glad to have you pitch for us today. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you. All right, let's try this again one more time with you, Gavin.
Again, if we could share my screen, because I made a fantastic, oh, there it is. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
It's working out. All you. Go for it.
Loud and clear. Let's go make this thing happen. Okay, ready?
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. I'm Gavin Escolar, founder of the Chaga Company, and these are my products. So let me talk to you guys about Chaga a little bit. The Chaga Company infuses the finest and highest antioxidant chaga to teas, powders, tinctures, elixirs, chocolate snacks, and salts. So I have like snacks like this right here. This is our keto monk fruit, gluten-free, sugar-free, paleo chocolate dip chaga cookie. That's absolutely delicious. And our chaga is also harvested deep in the Arctic Ring, actually in Fairbanks, Alaska, in the Delta Junction, by sustainable foragers and local Alaskans, and it's always been tested for its potency and cleanliness. So I started the Chaga Company in 2018 when I was living in Alaska looking for a boyfriend, but I actually ended up with a mushroom. And I loved chaga so much and completely changed my life that I actually opened up a coffee shop in Juneau, Alaska, until I found out that I can only withstand one winter in Alaska, and I moved back to San Francisco, California. So let's go talk about what chaga is about. So chaga is called the king of medicinal mushrooms, but it's actually more of a fungus that's closely related to a truffle, but instead of a truffle, which has a lot of umami, which is this is chaga right here, okay? It has a lot of umami. This one is so packed of antioxidants and immune boosting properties and adaptogenic properties. So this has 7 times higher antioxidant properties than acai, 350 times higher than blueberries on a gram-to-gram basis. And it has the highest amount of immune modulating properties. So it builds the immune system and helps us with natural stress. And it's been used as in ancient times, actually, as a health and beauty product. And the first actual recorded history of using chaga was 5,800 years ago, when Ozark the Iceman was discovered in Greenland with chaga in his utility belt being used as a broth and as tinder. Moreover, it also has been used since ancient times as a bath to cure menstrual cramps by Alaskan women. And lastly, if you ingest chaga, chaga has a light, versatile, nutty vanilla flavor that you could literally mix on anything. And chaga is really good right now to boost our immune system. And I don't need to explain to you guys why that we need to boost our immune system. I think there's a pandemic running around over there. So this is me in the farmer's market, and we have 24 in the Bay Area. So these are some of our events that we have done in the past. So not only we have farmers market events, we also have dinner and pop-ups and events. And I have a chef who came from a 3 Michelin star called the French Laundry in Yountville, and another chef from Esalen, which is in Big Sur, that makes nutrition, custom tailored meals with chaga. So the Chaga Company currently has 24 farmers markets all over the San Francisco Bay Area, from all the way up from Napa all the way down to the peninsula, and we're expanding in the South Bay. We also have like a Los Angeles and Santa Barbara presence. Of course, we have our online store and Amazon retail distributions for tailored boutiques and cafes. We do events and pop-ups and dinners. We also do corporate and cafeteria packages, VIP subscriptions for our Chaga VIP, which is $25 a month, and our business-to-business wellness packages and events. It's really good for HR people. So we give out like wellness packages to from employers to their employees. Our Chaga has been sold at Equinox,
1 minute.
The market at Twitter Building, Square, Airbnb, Mission Yoga, Banya SF, Green Jeans Garden, Fairfax Backyard Farmer, High Alpine Coffee in Telluride, Colorado, Seaweed Holistics in Pacifica, and so is with Rosalind Bakery. These are all of our codes. We're currently certified at NGLCC, of course, and ACDBE. Our NICS codes are over here too as well, and our work codes too, and what we can do and what our capabilities are too.
30 seconds.
And thank you so much for actually letting me present here. And let me send you out. Please email me or subscribe to our Chaga chat for a Chaga sample, and just type in the NGLCC on the subject line. And remember, health is a new wealth. Enjoy yourself with Chaga. It's really good for you. Voila. See, I'm doing it right now. Peace.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gavin. Fantastic job. I'm so glad that we were able to get things running there. Julia, let's start with you.
I enjoyed that so much. I was like smiling the whole time. I just really dig your energy. So thank you for that. I thought the presentation was really great. I would have loved to have known more about like the specific products that you make, like that you guys offer. I mean, for my own personal knowledge, and I think just the presentation in general, if we could have a little bit more context around the different types of products. But other than that, I thought you covered it really well and did a great job. So thank you for that.
Julia, thank you very much. Sandra, we'll turn it to you.
Sure, thank you. Gavin, great job. Enjoyed the presentation. Yes, love your energy.
Thanks.
question for you, is there, you talked about all its benefits. Do you have any scientific data that can help,
Yes, the thing is that we
sort of
constantly test for our chaga, and it's all on my website alongside with
perfect.
like the ORAC values, which is the oxygen reactive antioxidant compound measurements on the gram per gram basis. It's all listed on our website too. And the good thing about chaga, it's actually FDA classified as a food, so it's not even a drug or a supplement.
Okay, no, so something like that you can, quick point, right, that you can share, right?
Yeah.
And then, just for me, maybe something interesting, not sure where you are in regards to, are you seeing your sales increase? Not sure if, is it growing? Maybe, speaking to, the business itself, right, from the beginning to now, have you seen a steady growth? What percentage have you grown over a year? Maybe something like that, just so that it shows that the trend that this is, I'm assuming something that is growing, in the industry. So, maybe share information out along that line, but other than that, great presentation and thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right, Jose.
Hey, Gavin. Yeah, great job. Really want to echo what Sandra and Julia had mentioned there. I think when it comes to a lot of products, sometimes they like to, or services, they tend to stand alone, right? In this case, as soon as you came on the screen, I see the bike, I see the surfboards. I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. Like, let me see, because it speaks to you, right?
Yeah.
And I think one thing that you always want to see is like a person's passion and what they're putting into. So I think even just during this like 5-minute clip, like if I think of like chaga, like I'm going to think of you now.
Oh,
so
good.
like you being like the face of like
I
that
delivered
brand,
my message well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, from like a marketing perspective, I was like, okay, like let me make a note so I can look some of this stuff up like after the call here, right? So I really appreciate that. Also, just to kind of echo what Sandra mentioned there, yeah, create even just like one slide there, one page, kind of listing just some of the facts there. I don't think it would really like detract from like the fun of the presentation, but like you mentioned, where it stands with the FDA. Some of the competitors, in that space, what you might want to compare it to. I mean, you mentioned, it's, the 350X compared to, what was it, blueberries there?
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so what are the alternatives here? And it really starts getting those questions like jogging, and you say, okay, how can I implement this supplement in my life now, right? So I think it was great to see. And also just to echo what Julia mentioned there, just really speaking more so to the products offered would have been great. I know you mentioned some, if you could break it down by, I know you mentioned being, paleo in one area, almost having like these different like work streams based on the demographics, because it seems like you have a little bit of everything, right? It seems like everything's there. And I think what happens is like that curiosity kicks in. It's like, well, what if I'm looking for something that's gluten-free? I have this particular allergy, because part of me thinks like you already have that, you've already covered that base. But part of me also wants to hear it.
See, and my thing is that when I'm pitching to you guys, I'm pitching for more of a B2B wellness packages for employees, because I know that there's a pandemic and people are putting back employees further in. That's what my main focus is. And then and it's just like, that's what I want to get out of this pitch.
Okay, great. No, I understand that. And maybe even just highlighting that, right? Yeah. Say you have this bulk bundle, right, that you can offer to your employees, to your business. You can go ahead and pass out and say, hey, whatever you're looking for, we've got all the bases covered here, so don't even worry about that. Here are some examples. I think that might help it, but overall, yeah, it was just really great.
Thanks.
So awesome. Thank you, Jose, for that great feedback. For everyone that's excited to try chaga, you're gonna have to send that email to info@thechagaco.com with NGLCC in the subject line so you can get that sample and become a repeat customer.
I'm
Gavin,
sending chocolate with gold dust on it that's handmade, that's 70% vegan and only has 2 grams of sugar per ounce.
Oh my gosh. I just screenshotted for myself, so I'll drop the screenshot into the chat for everyone.
So please do, you guys.
Absolutely. Just a fantastic job. I'm so glad, Gavin, that we were able to get that presentation working, because you put such time into it. It was beautifully done. I have to echo everything that our judges said. And I got a question here from one of the stakeholders on the line saying they would be interested to know what Gavin what Gavin does in terms of a sustainability plan. Example, are suppliers secure, natural, or cultivated, etc.?
Oh, great. That's a actually great question, because that's in my creed, that we only deal with sustainable foragers that doesn't impact the environment in any way, shape, or form in Alaska. And I have deep relationships with them in numerous years that I've been working with them, and it's multi-generational. So basically, it's just like their ancestors has been doing chaga for quite some time, and they have respect for the forest and for the chaga itself.
That's beautiful. Amazing. Well, Gavin, thank you so much. Thank you for closing out the program for us today in terms of pitches. Really appreciate it. And folks, we are about to start community and conversation. You don't want to go anywhere. I want to say first, another big thank you to our friends and partners at Southern California Edison for supporting today's program, and to Sandra, Jose, and Julia for being amazing judges, giving some great feedback to our presenters. And of course, presenters, I want to thank all of you for doing an absolutely phenomenal job today and bringing back Sip and Pitch for 2022. We will be back next month for a special Black History Month edition of the program. But in the meantime, we still have community and conversation before today is over. So stay on the line. We'll be back here in 6 minutes at the 50 mark, wherever you are. I'm in Mountain Time, so for me, that'll be at 2:50 Mountain Time. We'll be back for the community and conversation portion of the event. This is where you can sip. I've got my carrot juice. Alcohol is welcome, tea is welcome, water is welcome, chaga is welcome, anything you want. And we'll see you back here in just a few minutes.